Well, hello and welcome to another backyard DIY video. My name is Seth, and I have been remodeling our backyard for the past few months, documenting that whole process. I think we're on episode 17 or 18 right now. We are in the final stretch here. This is going to be our last video of this series in terms of kind of like the daily stuff. I have put together all the rest of the clips over the last month or so, and they're all in this video. So it's a little bit of a longer video, but it kind of brings us up to where we are today. At the end of this video, I'm going to go over some of my successes, but also some of my failures, what's worked and what hasn't worked. I'm going to show you some of the things that, like this dirt area, that I failed at, and what I would do differently and what I'm going to change. I'm also going to talk a little bit about where I'm going to go with this whole backyard DIY thing, because as it is right now, there's a lot of big decisions that I have to make, and yeah, we haven't made those yet. So you want to stick around to that part of the video because, yeah, I think this series is done. This is the final episode of our backyard series, and then I think I'm going to do one last kind of total overview edit with a bunch of time lapses of this entire progress from start to finish. It's kind of sad, but enjoy this one. So I ran out of sod the other day. Oh, by the way, this is what it looks like after we're back from camping. It looks beautiful. See? Nice, thick, happy grass. Anyway, I was short, but I was able to pick up some sod today and just fill in the little spots. It's a little yellow. I think that was like slightly older sod, like maybe came yesterday or something, not today. And then I also filled in this little gap on the side here with new sod. So this is what mine looked like when we first put it in. And then this is what it looks like after just 7 days. So you can really see how much growth there is from the one that we planted 7 days ago and the one that's now. It's amazing how this stuff is, how fast it grows. But yeah, it's happy. Sprinklers are working well. I am going to keep it watering 3 times a day just for right now. Just for a little bit, only because of the new stuff that we just added. So things are coming along, man. This backyard is moving. We just cleaned off the whole porch area, just sprayed it off. It was just so covered in dirt. And we have Olivia's party. There's my one sprinkler head that I need to replace. I just put a pipe there right now just so it's out of the way. I need to add in my drains. They work really, really well. I just tested it. There was a bunch of water here from spraying off the thing. It all went down to there. I took the glove off and let the water go through. And then I flushed it with the hose so that I'd get all the dirt and debris and stuff that flushed through. Because normally the grate is supposed to catch some of that stuff, you know? But anyway, yeah, all went through, went all the way out and spit out in the front of the house. So that was a great success. But yeah, I think what we're gonna do for Olivia's party that's gonna be in a couple of weeks is, instead of doing the deck immediately, just because that's going to take a little bit of time, I'm going to take a bunch of the pavers that we have on the side of the house, and I'm just going to do paver all the way around, and then fill it in with rock. So this week I need to do this metal edging. I need to edge this corner. I'm going to start working on my fountain and my big rock. And then I need to button up and finish all of this stuff over here. So all the sprinkler manifolds and everything, I got to finish all of those, bury all of that. I also need to rip out all the old sprinkler lines that are right there. I need to rip out those old sprinkler lines that are right there and dig this dirt down a little bit for the tree. And I need to enclose the tree in some more edging stuff. Yeah, we're making good progress. So for right now, just getting the edging, getting this kind of area nice and set up, you know, this whole thing. That's the update for now. Stay tuned, more to come. Today is edging day. So we're gonna move this edging in, and we're hammering it in, leveling it, setting it to the right height, pounding it into the dirt, and that'll make a nice clean edge for our yard going around. Make it easy for mowing and using the, keeping the grass on the inside. So yeah, that's what we're doing. So stay tuned.
¡Ay, sabroso! Dale tumbao, Tony. ¡Ay, qué rico, rico!
Like that. More of a bend. Oh my God. This is the heavy stuff, and it does not bend easily.
Seguimos siempre de la verdad. Juega, juega bonito, juega con el tumbao. Ey, sabroso. Juega, juega bonito, juega con el tumbao. Siempre con mi tumbadito. Juega, juega bonito, juega con el tumbao. Dale. Juega, juega bonito, juega con el tumbao. Bueno, juega Cristian. Jaja.
So now we're just gonna run it straight down there, and then we'll be done.
Camina. Eso, Cristian. Bueno, mira. Anda. Ay, ¿qué dice el babalao? Juega con el tumbao. Juega con mi tumba.
So there it is. All of our edging is in. All the way down. Goes all the way. Makes this bend. Makes another bend. And goes all the way down and makes the final bend. So yeah, not bad. I'm gonna fill all of this area in with rocks eventually, but we also need to finish this side thing. So that is what's on the plan for the rest of the day. And then we should be able to start filling in this planter box and get rid of all those stones because they're gonna go on the side. I'm gonna mow the lawn. We're gonna fill in all of our stones in here, put that drain back in here, put some temporary pavers in for the party. We'll add the deck after that. So yes, lots to do. And I'm dripping. All right, goodbye for now. All right, Amanda has been cleaning all of the dirt and rocks on the side to level this out. Oh, she did a really good job. Looks really good. So now we can add the concrete pads back in, and then, yep, there's all some extra dirt that we have. Yeah, looks good. Good job. All right, good morning. We are continuing our work in the backyard. Today, I am digging this trench for the linear drain that we're adding along this whole row. Remember before, all the water used to come down and sit right here. So I was looking at a French drain, and that might still be an option, but from what I read, because we had a lot of surface water, the French drain would do only so much. And so this, I think, is gonna be a little bit better. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna dig out this trench. We're gonna set some weed stop fabric down. We're gonna put some gravel under here, and then we're gonna lay this drain, which is, there's part one, there's part two, so that we have a nice, like, 1%, 2% decline to this, which then takes it all the way around the house and then spits it out in the front yard. So we test fitted before and it worked, but now I'm actually gonna dig it and level it and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, stay tuned. All right, so I laid a string line for my incline from this corner all the way to that corner, and I leveled it with the dirt, and now I've added some gravel that I'm gonna crush and level all the way down here to set this on. And I'm using gravel so that way it gives it a little bit of stability as opposed to just dirt, because dirt with water and time will sink and gravel is less likely to. So yeah, that way it stays nice and level for a long time. So yep, just gonna get another thing of stone and throw it in there. And I am tearing up my lawn right there. That's all dirt from me walking in it, but the lawn will heal. All right, this is my system. I have a lot of dirt and a lot of rock here, but I just want the rock, I don't want the dirt. So I put a screen over a little bucket It's on an incline, and basically I just dump the thing on there, and then the dirt filters through and the rocks roll down. So let's see if I can do this with the one hand. Try and get it one hand here. So I'll go like this, dump it up there, and then yeah, just the rocks roll down. All the dirt goes inside. So my poor man's filter system. All right, we got our drain in. Looks like it's bowing right there. I'm gonna knock that in a little bit. Anyway, it's probably also the fabric makes it look weird. But so I leveled this dirt on the other side of it, and I just flipped the weed stop fabric over. I'm gonna add another half strip that's going from here to here. This is just kind of temporary, only because what we're gonna do is we're going to put some sand and then some stepping stones, the one that we used to have over here. We had 9 of them. We're gonna put those 9 along here and then just fill it in with bigger rocks just for right now while I'm building the deck. Or for the party, so that, you know, down the line, then I'm gonna build the deck and it's gonna go right here. So we're doing that for right now. Yeah, should be almost done. Well, hello. Today, did a lot of just buying stuff. Buying materials and things that we need for finishing up this project in the backyard here. Actually, I also got these used. They're like, what's that stuff called? Like polywood, like Adirondack chairs. So I got them for 85 bucks. So not bad. And we're gonna put those, I think, over there. But right now I'm working on this kind of semi-temporary, semi-permanent pathway. So basically what I'm doing is I'm just spacing these out. I've got 8 of these, and we're gonna put them all along the row here just to give a temporary pathway to get out there while I'm waiting to buy all the materials to build the deck right here. So just placing the stones down, and then I'm going to fill it all in with rock. So spacing on this is basically, it's 48 inches. The deck is going to be 36, so it can line up with this brick here. What I'm doing, because of this is 24 inches long, is I'm doing 12, 24, 12 with 6 inches in between. There's 24 between that wall and the stone. And it should space out nicely with 8 stones that go across, which is exactly the number that I have. I put down weed stop fabric just because I'm putting the sand down. It's not like a perfect job, but you know, I'm trying to make it look nice. Made this little jig right here. It's exactly the distance this way. The long way is 12, and then it's exactly the distance this way in between. So just makes it easy for laying the sand out as well as spacing the stones. Also got my levels, measuring tape, stuff like that. But yeah, so yeah, that's what we're doing this evening. I'm just gonna get all these down just to get it done. Yeah, it's not gonna take very long. Like I said, I'm not doing it like perfectly. So like, I'm trying to make them as level to each other, but I'm basically just doing 1 bag of sand per 2 stones. I got 4 bags, it's 8 stones, should be perfect. So yeah, that's it. I don't know if I showed you this the other day, but yesterday I built the new size of our garden bed. Yeah, I plumbed this in, and I need to get those, but what I'm gonna do down here is I'm just gonna level this. We're gonna put some weed stop down. We're gonna put that metal mesh so that the gophers can't come up, and then we'll fill it with the wood. Yeah, I don't know if you know this, but for garden beds, raised garden beds, if you take like old wood or some sort of other filler material, it'll save you a lot on dirt. because you put all the wood down and it fills up, you know, a good amount of void, and then you put all of your dirt down. So I got all of this dirt right here, plus I'm going to steal some from the tree area because we don't need as much dirt over here. And then I have a pile of dirt under that over there, which is also going to go in there. So it should be enough to fill it in. And then, yeah, this whole section will be just filled in there. And then I'm going to put another like edging, I think, along here just to separate the walkway. Walkway is going to be 48, which is the distance from that door as well to the wall. So 48 this way. It's going to continue on this side, 48 all the way down over here. So, and then, yeah, I got to take this down just a little bit, some of the dirt, and then we're going to enclose this orange tree. And then I'll probably lay rock stone down over this whole section. It'll be good for the drainage with the pipes over here, as well as it'll kind of, you know, so you can walk around the garden. And this is my little makeshift temporary protection from the sun. It's been there for like a couple weeks now. But yeah, this is all my trash. All of these rocks Amanda wants to move over into the corner. I don't know if I showed you that either. Let's go over there. I'll give you a peek at that. But basically and I replaced this string light. One of them was broken, so I bought a new one from Home Depot, replaced that string light. Over here, we decided just to put all of our extra rock. We kind of leveled it out, pounded it out, and then we just put all of our extra stone down here. So yeah, it's just nicer. And then, but she wants to put all those big stones to fill in this kind of funky gap right here, where there's this like railroad tie, and this wall is kind of unfinished. So it's just she's gonna put all the stones right here, and that'll just keep the dirt on this side and not out of here. So stone all the way across there. So yeah, that's our plan. She wants to paint this back wall, even though we're gonna have to replace it. We have to like fix it. I don't know. We'll see. So stay tuned. I'm gonna film a quick segment for putting these stones down, and yeah, I'll see you later. All right, to make this faster, I think we're just gonna clap our hands and yeah, it'll be done. You ready for that? Or should we snap our fingers? Maybe we'll do like Thanos. So, countdown. 3, 2, 1. Nice. Started to fill in the rocks. And we're painting the back wall. Starting to come together. today we got my buddy Miguel. He is gonna paint my back fence for me. He's the same one that did the side over here. And so now he's getting all set up and he's gonna paint the back, and then we'll have our whole fence nice and painted. So yeah, excited about that today. Gotta go get him some more paint at Home Depot. I got the wrong one, so off to Home Depot. So this is the finished fence. It's got painted all the way. You can even see into my neighbor's side down over there. We painted it. And yeah, the whole thing is now painted, or stained, I should say, and sealed. And you can see it matches the same that we have over here on this side. So that is excellent. One more thing, check off the list. All right. So this pretty much catches you up to where we are today. That's painted, that got painted by my wife. We had my daughter's party. And yeah, we've just been living kind of with our backyard the way this is for the last, month or two. All right, so I thought I would end this video going over kind of some successes and some failures. Things that I've learned, things that I would have done differently, as well as, things that I still need to complete. So yeah, let's just hop right into it. So as it stands right now, we still have this pathway and all of this rock here. This is working really well. We're not getting any water and that kind of stuff. But this part of the lawn, you can see, has not really improved since I kind of destroyed it when I was putting everything in here. It kind of got damaged right when it was, pretty young. And it has really struggled to kind of like find its home here. This is the lowest part of the yard. The water usually comes down to this section. I think it's gotten a little too much water. It's had this mud kind of issue. The dogs and everyone crosses through here. So this is also the highest traffic area. The issue is also that this metal edging that I put in here, I believe is preventing the water from passing through to where our drains are. And as a result, the water is sitting a little bit inside here, not letting it flow directly. Our main issue or concern was water that would come and flood into the porch. That is eliminated. There's like no water in here. There's like almost no water in here. All the water that's coming in is definitely going into this drain. You can see there is some standing water though that's sitting on top of this grass, and we really don't want that ideally either. So I think what I need to do is I need to drill holes in this metal, in the metal edging so that water can come through it. The only thing I don't know about is in terms of like dirt and plugging the holes or any of that kind of stuff. The ground is still horrible. Like, this is like super compact soil, even with the rototiller, even with all of that kind of stuff, it does not drain well at all. And so what I need to do is I need to kind of aerate this lawn, and I need to fertilize it so that I can help it kind of like fill in some of these kind of more bare spots. The other issue too is that we're entering into the winter time where the sun is really low. And so right now it's about middle of the day, and you can see the house is just completely covering this lower half of the yard, which is the reason why we did the sprinkler systems as two zones, an upper zone and a lower zone, is because I knew this was going to be an issue, and I wanted to be able to water each kind of zone independently from each other. So I still have to tune this a little bit for this time of the year. Remember, this is the first time we've had this through this time of year, but basically this is going to need a lot less water than this part right here. And pretty much the whole of the day, this does not get almost any sunshine. So it's going to do worse than this is going to do over here. And you can see like this stuff over here is super thriving. Even like, for example, this is where a dog pee spot was. You can see it's a little bit lower. But it is really, this grass type filled it in. Like right here, dog pee spot. I mean, that's what I'm battling now with, is just dogs peeing and destroying the yard. Here's another spot, for example. So this was all dead grass right here, kind of like a patch like that. But it is now all filling back in again. So that's a really good thing about St. Augustine, and why I picked it, is it will repair any of these grass damaged spots from the dog pee. I got 2 female dogs, which are hard to deal with in terms of peeing on the grass, because like a male dog, lifts his leg and kind of, it sprays everywhere. Whereas a female dog literally just sits in one spot and dumps it. So it creates this really saturated, like, pee spot, which kills grass. And this is fairly new grass. I mean, like it's had a couple of months to kind of like get in, but it's still, you know, in terms of the big picture, is still fairly young. So, yeah, we still have some stuff to tune with the grass to get it good. But, you know, overall, I'm happy. Back here, we have kind of put a pause in terms of what we've done because of repairing the wall. We have a couple of quotes, and I've gotten mixed reviews from people whether or not I need to actually cut like you know, like cut into the wall here and cut into the wall there and replace this bowed section, or if I can, or if it's fine the way that it is. Once we figure out what we're gonna do with the wall, we're gonna put plants back here, you know, some sort of bushes or hedges or something. I don't know exactly what I want to do back here, but I kind of want to do, my theme or my thought is like a Japanese, kind of like Japanese inspired mid-century modern, but using California native plants. I know, that's kind of crazy. That's where I'm thinking. And actually, when we were in Minnesota with my sister, I went to they have a Japanese garden there and looked at kind of what they had. I definitely have some clips of that. I'll show you that right now. So I'm gonna get some ideas here for maybe what I can do in my backyard.
Daddy.
This Japanese garden. See, I'm thinking about doing a path like this. I love how these rocks are like buried in the bushes. I think that's so cool. All right, so that's pretty cool. But I'm also thinking about going to like Huntington Gardens and some of the other like places up here in this area and looking at kind of what they're doing with native plants, to figure out how I kind of want to have this, you know, themed out. We still have to plant something in here. You can see the dogs just destroyed this part of the grass. This is like their favorite pea spot, but besides the point. We still have to put something in here, like a trees or something. We have to figure out what we want to do in that back rock area. I'm thinking like maybe doing like a shed to put like the lawnmower, some of this stuff that's over here in there. This side also needs to be filled in. It's getting, you know, not enough drainage. It's really dips down. You can see that the difference between, I don't know if you can see this, but look at how high the edging is here. So one of the things that I need to do is add a bunch of sand in through this whole area to like kind of re-level it out. And when I do that, I'll fill this in a little bit more. And I might actually throw some new sod in this little area, because this area also got destroyed when we were doing construction, finishing up this pathway on the side and that kind of stuff. We moved these that were sitting on our patio over here onto these platforms. I didn't show that in the video. So this is where we store kind of the kids' toys and all that kind of stuff. We have a hammock, and it's just kind of mayhem, you know, as things are. But pathway's working. These drains are working well. The linear drain that's on the side is working well. So, yeah, I still need to get some landscape lighting. All the wires is run for it, but I still have to buy it. You know, it's one of those things where it's just like money and time, and yeah, I don't have both of those at the same time usually. So we still got to finish this area right here, and we still have to do our concrete slab, and I still want to do the deck. So I can't do the deck because I need to leave this dirt so that when they're doing concrete here, or if we're repairing the wall, there's like a pathway for them to be able to come through that's not going to destroy what I've already done. So that's why I haven't finished anything on the side here, because I don't have this area graded fully, because I haven't put a pathway here, because like I said, I'm waiting for the back. I've been using this pipe to extend the water out over here so that it doesn't get too flooded in there. But man, the other day we had a ton of rain and it got flooded in that area. So I got to add like an extension to push it out to the other side. All right, so it's our first rain of the year. And we're gonna kind of look at what our landscaping is doing. So over here, this whole side is getting flooded. And that is because the water comes from this drain and just dumps in right here. And so all this water just stays right here. So I need to also direct all that down here. Luckily, this is the area we haven't done yet. So basically up to that point, it hasn't been finished. So all of that needs to be redirected. I'm thinking we come up with an option that works for both of these. What I think would be really cool is if I did if I took out a lane all the way down and buried a pipe that spit out right there. So the pipe would come up and connect to these drains, that drain, and then also have like a French drain that would tap into it, and that would flush all the water out there. Now this is the main issue. You can see all the water's pooling here because what's happening is this metal edging is solid and it's trapping the water right here. Now a couple things need to happen. A, I do need to increase the level of the yard. It's settled now, and so when I eventually redo I'm gonna sand the grass, you know, to like make it level. I'll make sure that this is filled in a little bit more. It's a little too much incline. What I was thinking about doing is right here, or under this stone, is the main connector. So like this line connects here, and then there's a pipe that comes here, and then it elbows and goes this direction for a linear drain. Well, right here at this elbow, I was thinking I could make a vertical. So it would be like an elbow like this with a vertical that's sticking up, and that vertical coming up could be another like surface drain, so that the water that comes down here could just come to that. So I would put like in the grass, like a buried surface drain that would be like right on the inside of this, so that all this water that comes in pools right here would hit that drain and go straight down. Because it's silly, like right below this, there's a drain. But the problem is that we didn't do a French drain where there's like corrugated pipe. It's a solid pipe that takes the water from over there where we had the issue and brings it over here. In retrospect, maybe I should have done a French drain the whole way down, all the way to this pipe, so that any of that groundwater would seep down and find the French drain and make its way through. We may do that eventually. I mean, the grass is not great right here along this whole strip, as well as we have this little rock path here, which is also, you know, it is not a huge deal. So we could rip the rock out, and we could then find that drain that we have that's straight and make a new one. So that's that. So yeah, that's where we are with the rain. Overall, I'm pretty happy. The areas that I knew were going to be a problem are a problem, and there's no real surprises. This whole thing is something that's fixable, but the real main thing is it is preventing our issue that we used to have, which was the water would flood. Now, the way the system was before, with the amount of rain that we got, it would have 100% flooded this patio, and this thing is bone dry. So that was our main thing, and it's totally fixed. So yeah, I think success. You know, we're gonna count that as a win. Everything is working well. Our garden is thriving. I have a drip irrigation ring around this tree. We have a drip irrigation ring that's running around this tree that's doing well. This orange tree is happy. And then we have our drip irrigation ring that is run over here and is watering this avocado tree. And this one is also super happy. So I'm gonna have to do, I don't know if this will be in the, I don't think it's gonna be in the irrigation video that I have coming up, just because this is kind of a specialized thing. I think in that video, I'm really gonna focus on sprinklers and that kind of stuff with like manifolds. But there is so much math involved in trying to figure out how much to water a tree, when to water it, all that kind of stuff, and tapping it into the existing system. Man, maybe I should put it in the irrigation video, just because when doing the irrigation on the side here, there are some things I had to calculate for this to work properly up there. So we'll see. It's too much to do. So back to this area. I was saying I can't put the deck in because I need this area to be clear. I need to do this area with the concrete slab. The original guy that I was gonna have do it has kind of been flaking on me, so I think I'm gonna have to do it myself or find a new quote. But this whole area needs to be concrete. Remember, it's gonna come like this, and then it's gonna cut in like that, and then it's gonna cut in like that. So that way this whole area is a path, but then we're gonna make a little planter that's gonna be kind of like this for this little rock area, and where we're gonna have a fountain. I gotta figure out the final resting place of this rock, because I'm still not happy with it. We'll have to see, but I have a friend who actually has a landscaping business, but also a YouTube channel, and I might have him come and we might do a collaboration and on just kind of designing this little garden area. He can help me because he's got a really good eye, figure out positioning of this rock. We can figure out what we're putting in here, figure out the fountain, and kind of button this whole area up so that it's ready to go. Because regardless of the fact, when we do the deck in this area, this is not going to change. So this is something that we probably could get done, and it won't be affected by the concrete pour or the deck build eventually. So that's what I'm thinking for this, but still have to do that. And then lastly, once we get the deck done right here in the concrete poured, we're going to re-edge this out in probably that same kind of metal edging for that tree. We're also going to do the same thing here. I'm using just temporary stuff that I've had, this plastic edging, just temporarily to kind of make it look nice while we've been waiting. But yeah, got to do that. And then we're going to level all of this out, and then we're going to do a path, like a stone pathway or something along here. There's a really cool Japanese style of stone pathway where they use like a combination of like really nice rectangular cut pieces of stone with a whole bunch of other stone that they've cut and chiseled to fit in interlocking. I forget what the name of it is, but I want to do something like that, and I think that would be a cool project that's for a separate thing. But again, that's kind of at like the very end of this whole thing, is to do that pathway. So yeah, that's kind of where we stand. We've gotten our patio furniture, some patio furniture. I got a cool desk or table and chairs and a bench as a set off Facebook Marketplace that will eventually go over and underneath the under the concrete. Oh, geez, I just thought of another thing. We also want to do a cantilevered awning area over here. So basically it would be like a pole coming up here and a pole coming up here, and they would cantilever this direction. So there would be nothing on this side, like over here. It would just come up and then out like that. So that we'd get a little shade in this barbecue area. I actually went to a barbecue event, and yeah, I have some footage of that too. So to look at some different options for this area. Of stuff.
You can see my office. I posted.
All right, so I just left this barbecue place, which is close to me because they're doing a barbecue like demo, and I got a bunch of pamphlets for me building out the kitchen. Man, that barbecue stuff is so expensive though, especially like the cabinetry and all that kind of stuff. I don't know why outdoor stuff is so darn expensive, other than maybe it needs to be a little bit stronger to be able to withhold the elements, but like, man, outdoor furniture is crazy expensive. Outdoor barbecue equipment is crazy expensive. So I don't know. I'm thinking about even making it myself out of that extruded aluminum stuff. You can build, it's almost like an erector set. You can build all sorts of things. People use it for like building music racks and home theater stuff, as well as shelving. You'll see it in like businesses for like industrial shelving. But I've seen people also make cabinetry for like in vans, for like van life stuff, but also making it for like outdoor barbecue things. So I'm thinking it might go that route, and if I do, I'll definitely film a video on it. But yeah, that's kind of where we are right now. You're caught up. I mean, you know, we've had some wins and some losses. I would say things I would have done differently. I'm more than likely going to take out this linear drain that I have here. I think it's fine for getting surface water, and it hasn't done anything here, but it is failing me in terms of getting the water from this area to here. It is too high. The drain can only get water from the top, which is, you know, if you look, this is the top. I can't really show it, but this is the top of the drain. This is the metal. The metal goes down below it, so any water that's coming here will sit here, and it doesn't get its way into this drain. What I need to do instead is I need to rip it out, and where it connects right here to a solid pipe, I need to run, I think, a corrugated, like French drain pipe, which is basically like a tube that has slits cut in it all around so that it can soak up water from the bottom and the sides and the top, and just run that along this whole thing, which will be underneath the deck. And that way, any water that's coming down to this lowest point in the yard, and even if it hits this metal, it will find the drain. Water wants to find a void, and so it'll find the void of this drain underneath, and the water will seep down and go up into it and then run its way out. I think that's what I should have done from the get-go, but you know, I was working with, you know, somebody else and they thought this was a better idea. And so, you know, we went that route. And it's been fine in terms of, there's been zero water here and it never floods in this way, but it does keep water down in this area, which is not great. The same thing for over here. I had to uncap this corner because I had a pool of water sitting right here and it couldn't go in because this cap was preventing it. So all I did was I took this cap off and I kind of like cleared some of the rocks out of the way, and man, all the water just flooded in here. And because there is a natural decline in terms of the way the elevation runs, all the water just flooded out, which was perfect. That's going to be part of the issue when we're redoing this little area here and making this whole, filling this in to make this little area, is when we grade it, I want to make sure that I do it so that the water's flowing right to this area so that we can take it out. We don't want any water pooling in this area, especially with the concrete. The concrete's going to slightly be slanted this way too. Everything, the idea is to flow it to one direction. So yeah, that's what I would do differently. I probably should have rototilled deeper than I did, because I got like, I think it was like 8 inches of, or 6 to 8 inches of rototilled soil that was nice and soft. I then added on another 2 inches of like extra soil. So we're talking like almost 10 inches of soil that was like really good and loose. But man, once it gets past that 10 inches, whatever, it's like, I think it's like rock. It's so compact. And so as a result, the water really does not drain well. It drains this direction because I've graded it well, but it just doesn't drain, which is why you're seeing this kind of like, you know, dirt right here. So core the grass, add some sand for better better drainage, and we're going to fertilize the grass and all that kind of stuff. I mean, we're getting into the little bit of a dormant season because of the winter. So, you know, St. Augustine kind of gets less green and less happy during that time. But yeah, there's a lot to do. And yeah, I think this is where we're kind of stopping this whole backyard DIY series for now. I'm still going to be working on it. I'll probably be posting updates on this on my other social media platforms. So if you are interested in still following this backyard journey, I'll have stuff on Instagram here, as well as on like, I think probably TikTok here. It's the Seth Maxwell at either location. And yeah, you can follow along. I'll probably post more frequent updates there. And I'll probably do like a, you know, where we are in this backyard, like in, you know, after there's been some substantial movement here. So like after we do the concrete, after we do this, and I'll film it the whole time, but I'm saying I probably won't post a video on this for quite some time. So we have 2 more videos that are coming out as well. I'm going to be doing some individual videos on specific things that I've learned or done in the backyard. For example, I'm doing one on how I moved this 1,000-pound boulder. So that's going to be a separate video. Watch out for that. I'm also doing part 2, which I promised, of the irrigation, which is going to be an overview of the entire irrigation system. How do you make a manifold? How do you do this kind of stuff? The timing, all of that kind of things. Things that took me a really long time to learn because I couldn't find definitive information online about the best way. I did all that research for you. And so that video is going to be all of that information. So look out for that one. Yeah. I mean, I hope you've enjoyed these videos as much as I've enjoyed making them. They're not nearly as popular, of course, as like some of the other stuff that I've made, but you know, I really like doing it just because for me, it's fun to look back at this stuff and kind of reminisce where we were. So, yeah, that's where we are. And, you know, I appreciate everyone that has been sticking around and watching this whole series. It really means a lot to me. But yeah, I think we're done for now. So thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.